I'd like to demonstrate how to create a Google Slide activity where there are non-movable objects that are placed in the background and then movable objects placed on the foreground. So I'm going to begin with a blank slide here. I would recommend creating your backgrounds in one separate Google Slides document and then your completed versions in a different Google Slides file. So let's begin with the blank slide here. And you need to begin with the idea that you have objects that are going to be on your slide you do not want to move, and those are going to be on the background. So determine what it is on your slide that needs to be in the background and not movable. I'm going to insert a few things here, and I will begin with an image uploaded from my computer. And that image is going to be found in a folder that I've already saved this for. And this here is an image designed to be a part of a math problem. And so I'm going to get it in the position I want it. I want it in the middle. We'll see what the rest of this is going to look like in a moment here. I also want instructions at the top of my slide, which will take the form of a text box. So I'm going to draw a text box in the top, and I'm going to make that text box a certain color in the background. I want to fill it with a background color. I'm just going to choose orange here. Maybe not. Let's go with that. Okay. It doesn't really matter whatever color you want it to be. I have some text that I'm going to copy from the problem that I'm mimicking here. So I'm going to highlight that text on a website, copy it, go back to my background slide, and I'm going to paste it. So as you can see, it didn't come out so good there. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to do paste without formatting. Paste will take the formatting from the website that you copied it from, and I don't really want that formatting. I want to make my own formatting. So paste without formatting will give me just the text, and I can do what I want with that text. So I'm going to begin by making the title much larger. So say I make it 24, and then I'm going to make my instructions for the activity, say an 18-point font there. And I'm going to bold the word directions. Okay, so I have that exactly the way I like it, and I'll just leave it as is. And now I am going to put a rounded rectangle shape on the bottom here. So I'm going to go to my shapes. Under shapes, I'm going to choose a rounded rectangle, and I'm going to draw that rounded rectangle at the bottom. And the purpose of this rounded rectangle is to give me sort of a little tray that I'm going to put my number tiles that I'm going to use for this activity. And kind of get it there, I think. And what background color do I want? I'll go with that. Okay, so there's my beautiful colors here. Okay, this is everything that's going to be on my slide that should not move, and therefore I want this to be a part of my background. I'm going to do the following then to make this an image file that can be used as a background in this other slide that I'm going to work with over here. Okay, here's how it's done. I click on the left on my slide that I want to use as my background. I will then go to the File menu and choose Download, and I'm going to download it as a PNG. That's the file format that I think is best for this type of image. It's not a photograph, so I'm not going to use a JPEG. I select PNG image, and it's going to ask me where do I want to save this. Well, I'm going to save it in the folder that I have my other work with here, which is my math slides content. So math slide background, and I can call it math slide background 1. So if I'm going to do a bunch of these, I'm going to name each one of these image files differently. So I'm just going to call this math slide background 1. I will save it there, and now it's there, and it saves a copy of what this slide looks like as an image. It's a picture file, basically. Now to use that image as a background. So I have my other slides that will be the finished products that students will be able to use and manipulate as a part of my lesson. I'm going to once again start with a blank slide, and I need to tell it I want to change the background of this slide. And there are some choices here. Do you want to color? No, I want to choose an image that I already have. So I'm going to go look for that. I'm under Upload, and I'm going to click Browse and go look for that image. And here it is, the one that we just saved. I'm going to select that. It makes that my background image, and then I just have to say Done. Okay, as you can see, I now have a background image that is exactly what I was looking at before on the other slide. The difference is I can't move these things, and I don't want them to move. I want them just to be static in the background. Okay. The next thing is add the movable pieces to this slide. Well, I happen to have these already, and these are my number tile images that I want to use for this activity. I have another video that shows how to make these types of objects for moving around that you can watch. But here I'm just going to take some that are already there. I'm going to copy those, and I'm going to go back to my slide, and I'm going to paste. And I just want to move these and get them up there where I want them to be. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just resize them a little bit, make them a little bit larger. Just got to get it in just the right place that I want. Okay, so those are a little bit bigger. I think I like that now. And the idea is with this activity, I want students to be able to pick these number tiles up and put them in the boxes and follow the instructions, which are use the digits 0 through 9 at most one time. Fill in the boxes to make the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. Using the theorem about 3 angles of a triangle must always add up to 180 degrees. So there you are. I now have a slide that I can give to students, and they can manipulate these number tile objects down here and put them in the squares to meet the objective of the math activity. And that's putting together a hands-on manipulative in Google Slides with a static, unmovable background image. As I said, if you need to know how to get the little boxes down here that can be dragged around, I have a separate video you can watch for that. And that will do it.